Hello, I'm Judy. I'm currently 29. I've been married for 2 years now. We don't have children, but I would like to say that we're proud owners of 2 dogs and 1 cat. My husband and I have settled comfortably in Pennsylvania. Things were not that difficult for us, but my mother-in-law was extremely problematic. Initially, she used to visit us often, and boy, the time we had to deal with her absurd demands. Eric was a neutral man. He tried to make both ends meet. He didn't want to anger either of us. But sometimes you can't really take sides of a madman. I was working as a cashier in the local departmental store at the time. It was a boring-ass job, and my shift was mostly from early morning to evening until my colleague took my place. The pay was terrible, but it paid my bills nonetheless. It was like a day like this I met Eric. He came into our department store along with his mother. They were looking for some cosmetics and cooking items. I found him really cute. He was tall, had glasses, brown hair, and had a good sense of fashion. He just strolled around with his cart. I was waiting patiently for them. The moment he approached the counter, my heart skipped a beat. He was even cuter up close. As I was making their bills, his mother demanded that I segregate some of the items in different packets. Geez, I hate when I have to do that. Why can't she and her son do it? Mom, not again. Here, let me do it for you. No, baby, let the young girl do it. She knows her job. She gets paid for it. I get it, but there are a lot of items. If we don't provide an extra hand, it's going to take forever, and there are people waiting in line, Mom, please. Son, when I say I want the young girl to do it, I want her to do it. Now be a good boy and stand aside. This was probably the weirdest thing I witnessed. I was 26 at the time, and he was probably 27 to 28, still being treated like a big baby. I giggled quietly to myself. The son was super embarrassed. He couldn't even make a single eye contact with me. After all the things were packed, they left. The mother was overly talkative and demanding. She waited for a whole ass 8 minutes, guiding me on how to put what in what packets. When something was done not to her liking, she would immediately stop you and make you do it whole damn thing again. I feel bad for the girl who would marry the guy. A hell of a woman she would have to deal with. I was done with my shift for the day. I got changed and headed outside when suddenly I saw someone walking up towards me. It was the guy from today morning. He looked so flustered. He bought a few things and handed it over to me. Hey, look, my mom was very rude today, and I'm sorry on her behalf. She can get a little... Oh my God, you really didn't have to. That is awfully nice of you. It's all right. I have dealt with customers like that. Yeah, but well, how can I make it up to you? It was just a small thing, really. You don't have to worry about making it up to me. Geez, besides, you already checks the packet. Ice cream. I do run an art gallery, like I'm the curator. Well, in simple words, I manage artists' work and showcase their talent. People come to watch and critique and all other boring stuff. But it can get a little less boring if you can come to my place for a little cup of coffee. What do you say? Are you asking me on a date? Well, if you want to look it that way, then be it so. You don't really mind, do you? I don't, but is this all for what happened today, or... To be honest, no. I found you really cute, and well, damn, this is embarrassing. Rather, visit my gallery. I'll get time to muster some courage by then. Here's my card. You can give me a call at any time. It was a pleasure meeting you. Looks at the card. Eric, I'm Judy, just in case. Pleasure was all mine, Judy. See you soon. Let's hope so. He left with a swag. I must say, I have hit some jackpot this life. A curator who owns an art gallery shows interest in plain old boring me? Well, okay, let's see how long this can go. Weeks passed, and the memory of our encounter lingered in my mind. I finally mustered the courage to take Eric up on his invitation. I took his card from my purse and gave his number a call. Hello, Judy. Wait, how did you know it was me? I never called you before. You may call it anything, guess, telepathy, or intuition. I think I would call it waiting desperately for my crush to call. Oh, shh, you're exposing my secret. So, Judy, did you think about my proposal? Of course, that's why I called. I wanted to take an appointment, dear sir. You are indeed funny. There's no appointment needed when it's you. Just come a little before lunch, as I have things to prepare. We wouldn't want you to barge in on your surprise now, would we? Okay, now I'm super curious. This isn't fair. I hate cliffhangers. Well then, let's not wait for the next episode. Tomorrow, 11? Yes, done deal, monsieur. The day I visited the gallery, I was wearing a nice floral dress, makeup not too much, kept it elegant and simple. The moment I reached the alley, a rush of excitement and nervousness washed over me. I had always appreciated art, but had never delved deep into its rich tapestry. As I walked through the gallery's doors, I was greeted by Eric, who handsomely grinned. He took me on a personalized tour, sharing stories about the various artists and their work. The passion and knowledge he exuded were contagious, and I found myself captivated by his every word. We spent hours strolling through the gallery, lost in the beauty that surrounded us. Eric's eyes sparkled with joy as he described the emotions and stories behind each piece. It was as if the art came alive under his guidance, whispering secrets and inviting us to dive deeper into their mysteries. So, doesn't it get difficult, the competition, I mean? While my gallery is smaller and more compact than the famous ones, I introduce underrated artists. Many rich clients wanted to buy from this place. I may not have reached fame, but it's not fame that I seek. I seek the joy of exploring new concepts and meanings. It's just me. You are different, Eric. It's nice to see someone not running after recognition all the time. Oh dear, it is 30 minutes past 1. You must be hungry. Shall we eat? His dining room was something straight out of a Victorian novel. It was so pretty and well decorated. I was baffled by the aesthetic sense of this man. I was now low-key getting really insecure. I felt like Eric was too good for me. I mean, any woman would be charmed by the elaboration made by him. The table looked like royalty. Geez, do I even deserve this? Of course I don't. But Eric never made me feel small. He was warm and welcoming, even offered to serve me. You did all this for us? Are you serious? Of course. Why not? It's just the two of us. Oh, Eric, you really didn't have to work so hard just for us. I would have been happy with takeout, really. Nonsense. Takeout for a lovely lady? Absolutely not. We were having such a wonderful time with beautiful background music taking place. I almost got lost in my own wonderland when suddenly we both heard rapid footsteps down the hallway. It came closer to the door and the door swung open. It was Eric's mother. The woman made a dashing entrance, which reminded me of those soap opera actresses. I tried my best to contain my laughter. Oh, here you are. I've been screaming your name and no response. How hurtful. I thought you weren't home, but here I see you're having dinner with a... Eric's eyes widened with a mixture of shock and concern. He quickly rose from his attempts to conceal his uneasiness. My heart raced as I stood up, feeling a wave of anxiety wash over me. I had not anticipated this unexpected encounter with his mother. Mother, this is Judy. She's a friend, a very special friend. I know who she is, the lazy cashier from the departmental store. I can remember her face when I need to. His mother's piercing gaze shifted from Eric to me, her eyes following my every move. I felt a sudden urge to shrink under her gaze, but I stood my ground, determined not to let her judgment affect me. Well, Eric, I didn't realize you were inviting street cats into our home. It would have been nice to be informed. Mom, please don't talk like that. I was about to. I wasn't aware that you were coming today. Well, I was here to deliver my home-cooked pie, but you have a whole food galore going on yourself. I'll just keep it on the table. Whether you eat it or throw it, it's up to you. Oh, Mother. Mrs. Anderson, how about you join us? I mean, we do have plenty, and we would love it if you could make some time. Kim was unfazed by my proposal. She kept the pie on the table and looked sharply at Eric. Well, I hope you're enjoying your meal, dear. Remember, we have an appointment later. Don't let this distraction get in the way. She left. The room was filled with silence. I felt like the aftermath of a tidal wave hitting a lonely shore. We tried to keep our composure after that. I could see Eric was shaking. He did seem like the sensitive kind, and I loved that about him. I poured some champagne into his glass. He looked at me. He couldn't help but feel extremely at fault for his mother's behavior. Eric, I understand if you need to go. Judy, I'm sorry about my mother's behavior. It's complicated. But I don't want her to ruin our time together. Let's finish our lunch. As we continued our meal, the sound of laughter gradually filled the room once more, pushing back against the lingering tension. We focused on the love and companionship we shared, allowing it to be our shield against the toxicity that occasionally seeped into Eric's life. We used to have secret outings and risky dates. His mother was always up on his heels. She would always call and ask him if he was with me or not. He would give some excuse and then cut the call. The connection between Eric and me blossomed into a deep and profound love. We continued to explore the realms of art, creativity, and life together, allowing our shared passions to strengthen the bond that grew between us. However, with each passing day, the disapproval from Eric's mother, Mrs. Anderson, grew more evident. She made her disdain for our relationship known. She opposed our love and dismissed it as nothing more than a passing phase. Her constant disapproval cast a shadow of doubt and uncertainty over our path. But, despite the hatred from Mrs. Anderson, Eric and I never wavered in our commitment to each other. We faced the world hand in hand, supporting one another through thick and thin. Eric always had a clear head. I was the hot-headed one, but I had surprised myself by remaining calm whenever a heated argument rose between Kim and us. We were equally persistent and soon decided to get married. Whether it was out of spite or love is a debate for some other day. I settled in with Eric. Of course, Kim didn't attend the wedding. She claimed it to be an atrocity. I left my apartment. I was kind of relieved that I didn't have to pay rent anymore, but most importantly, I was with the right man. Are you planning to remain a cashier forever? For the time being, yes. I'll be looking for other jobs, though, and also, I was thinking, well, be quick about it. I know you're planning to take advantage of my son's expenses, but as long as I'm breathing, I would never allow that. He's a self-made individual, and I expect you to bring yourself up to his standards. You know, I can't really match up with his stature, but I assure you I will provide equally for him. I love him. We are like a team. I just want you to have a little bit of faith in me. Psst, with that qualification, I hardly doubt you'll be able to provide at all. And it is too early to call this love. We'll see how long it lasts. A few days later, Jonah and Mia, a married couple filled with curiosity and a thirst for art, decided to explore Eric's gallery. The moment they stepped into the exhibition, their eyes widened in awe at the stunning collection before them. Little did they know that their visit would not only deepen their appreciation for art, but also introduce them to a lifelong friendship. As a witness to their excitement, I approached Jonah and Mia with a warm smile, eager to share in their enthusiasm. These pieces are exquisite. I must say, it's rare to see street art these days, like the one where the lady holds this blue umbrella under the mundane weather. The splash of colors is so vibrant and emotional. I couldn't agree more. Are you the curator? Oh, no, my husband is. He's gone for a while. We'll be back soon. Do you need anything? Tea, coffee? How kind of you. Would definitely like some tea, no, dear? I don't mind. Jonah and Mia sat down with me and we struck up a lovely conversation. Eric followed later on. We had one of the best times. They were a humorous little duo. It felt like we were old friends. Eric later decided that they should join us for dinner. Our bond grew stronger and we became inseparable. Eric's mother was not happy with it at all. She would pay random visits, interrupt our time, and take Eric with her for some important stuff. She was never approving of our marriage. I doubt things would get any better. Mia came over another day and I had to vent my piled up frustration. Mia, you won't believe what in the devil I've been dealing with. My crazy mother-in-law has been incredibly toxic since the dawn of our relationship. It's been extremely draining and affecting us. Don't even start. Mother-in-laws are basically made to create nothing but damage. They are attention-starved creatures. They have no life to ponder into. They're like flies hovering over fresh meat. Oh, sheesh, girl, you must be going through a lot yourself, huh? I mean, I was, but then Jonah and I decided to confront her about it. Trust me when I say the aftermath was not pretty. I meant it. She made some scenes. I'm just glad we have left and past it. Should I confront her too? How does Eric feel about it? Well, he mostly takes my side. He's not the kind of guy who likes conflicts. He tries to mediate, but he's torn between his loyalty to me and his family. It puts a strain on our relationship, and I can't help but feel trapped. Kim's birthday was coming soon, and we thought to take a chance. Eric and I decided to give her a painting of herself. The idea was mine, but the cost would be handled by Eric. He was happy, but also felt a tad bit sad. He knew his mother was very picky about gifts. He just hoped she liked it, but it was really not worth it. I would never forgive that woman. What the hell is this? Mom, this was a small birthday gift from... Birthday gift? From you? Kim inspected the painting. You think you can try to get in my heart through this gesture? Well, you are wrong. I didn't need this shit. Take it back to whatever garbage you brought it from. I left it there. I didn't want to give it back. It was, after all, an effort made by Eric as well. He went to one of his finest artists and paid him $50,000. That is no joke. I felt so bad. I told him I will pay it off to him bit by bit. He charged me nothing, but I can't let him through bankruptcy just for his mother. When I came back, I couldn't believe what I saw. I stood there in utter shock, witnessing the most vile character of a human being. My mother-in-law, whom I had tried so hard to please and win over, had just torn apart what she believed to be a gift given by me. But little did she know her impulsive act had unleashed a wave of regret that would crash over her in an instant. The room fell into an eerie silence as mother-in-law stood, holding the torn canvas in her hands, an evil smirk on her face. Her eyes glinted with what appeared to be satisfaction, unaware of the weight of her actions. I watched as the torn pieces of what she believed was a valuable painting fluttered to the floor. There you go. Since you wouldn't do it yourself, I did it. Mother, but why? This is a very expensive gift. So? Who told you to spend your money on me? No, it wasn't my... I could hear rapid footsteps down the hallway. Eric entered with a birthday cake in his hand. Before he could ask anything, he looked at the torn canvas on the floor. The room seemed to freeze at that moment. The tension was heart-stopping. I exchanged a glance with Eric, silently acknowledging the ruse we had played on mother-in-law. It was a test. a way to reveal her true colors and see how she valued our relationship. What did you do, Mother? That fine piece of work cost a fortune. How could you? Wait, you paid for this? And you destroyed it like it was some piece of scrap? Do you realize that Judy was thoughtful enough to give you a gift after all that you have done to her? After the filthy names you called her? I was unsure, but she convinced me to give it another chance. That there was a way of showing affection where she could make you understand that she was not your enemy. Eric, No, Mother, you have spoken enough. I've always tried to make things better amongst us, but you are hell-bent on making things worse. What kind of a mother are you? A mother who's not happy with their son's happiness does not have the right to be called a mother. Eric, hey, calm down. No, Judy, I have had enough, faces Kim. Do you know what was the cost of that painting? $50,000. Can you imagine? But we still managed it somehow. It was, after all, your birthday. I'm so sorry. I really didn't. Just get out. Never ever show your face to me again until you compensate me all the money. Do you hear me? Eric, are you sure about this? Of course. Mother dearest here needs a lesson. She's obviously crossed the threshold this time. Kim left crying profusely. It has been more than a year since I've seen her. Whatever transactional affair she had with her son happened in private. She is trying her best to compensate for the damage with whatever she could earn. She begged to stay with us, but Eric and I refused to let negativity dictate our lives. Slowly, I left my job as a cashier. I helped Eric part-time with his gallery and applied for another job very close to where we live. It was a plant shop. The old lady wanted an apprentice for a long time, so I signed in. We got 2 dogs, a beagle and a dachshund, plus a stray cat. Jonah and Mia became our closest friends. They often visit us and vice versa. Trust me, life couldn't get any better after that. I'm just glad we managed to get past it and are trying our best to nurture each other as much as possible.